thanks for clicking on my video. I've got issue 57 of Mortal Realms here, so I can show you how to assemble and paint some Black Knights in a Grimdark style. Mortal Realms tend to be about £8 in the UK, which is a decent saving from buying the unit on its own. It comes with the sprues, bases, and some bump. It shows you how to paint the models like the front cover, but we won't be building them quite the same. There's parts for Hex Wraiths or Black Knights. I'm just going to start with the horses, because they're the same for both. You can pretty much mix and match any parts you want. I think this head is a Hex Wraith head, for example. The armoured saddles are for the Black Knights. There should be a hornblower, a bannerman, a swordsman, and 2 spearmen. I'll move on to the painting because that's what you're here for. I'm going to be using Vallejo Dead White, Polished Gold, Bone White, Bloody Red, and Black. They all come in the standard multi-pack, which I would recommend. I'm also using Liquitex Basics acrylic paint for the blood in Alizarin Crimson. It's slightly less pigmented, so it's translucent, which I like for layering the blood. I'll be aiming to match them to my Knight of Shrouds and Reikenor. I used all the same colours for these. Okay, looks like I'm ready to start, so let's get going. First, I'm mixing black 50-50 with water and washing over the models twice. Then, when they're dry, I'll start dry brushing with white, using an almost dry flat brush to pick out the highlights. Then when that's dry again, I'm washing over with the Liquitex mixed with water. This is all just to base the knights and get them to a stage where they've got some highlights and shadows. Here's where they're at so far. Dripping with blood. Here's what it looks like dry. You can already see it's got some shading. To be honest, they could probably just go onto the battlefield like this if you don't have time to spend an hour plus on every single model. I'm going to use the same 50-50 black wash, but I'm just going over the areas that I want black, like the armour. So I've switched to a smaller brush with a nice point. I'm still not being that precious with it because it's just a wash. I'm giving it a second coat to darken up the black. By doing it in washes, we're maintaining the shading rather than completely obliterating everything underneath with one solid coat. Remember to dry them on a cold setting if you're using a hairdryer, just because we don't want to melt the plastic. Now I'm going back in with the red wash over the material. Okay, now I'm going for a more detailed bits with straight gold, not watered down. I'm just picking out some bits of the armor. Now I'm highlighting the bone with straight white, not diluted. I'm being a bit more careful with it now because these colours aren't diluted and it's going to be a pain if they go in the wrong place. But they're just troops, so I don't want to take as long as I did with Night of Shrouds. Now onto the fun part, the blood. I'm getting my big flat brush and taking straight Liquitex Alizarian Crimson and slathering it all with blood. I'm caking it onto the models from the bottom upwards to simulate them trudging through a bloody battlefield. And any other bits you'd expect, like their mouths or their spears. And here they are. While I'm waiting for them to dry, I'll just spruce up the bases a little bit and super glue them down. I'm using leftover bits from the sprue as ground debris. Then I'm taking my full strength PVA and generously applying it around the base. I'm pouring on some sand that I got from a garden centre and tapping off the excess. Then I'm pooling some Vallejo red mixed with the crimson Liquitex and water over the sand. filling in the edges with just diluted black. And there we have it. I think these guys are going to fit into my army nicely. Let me know in the comments below how you paint your Grimdark models, and give me a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks for watching!